Hello, welcome to the Kocham Polske Hong Kong Post in Hong Kong Meet and Chat program. My name is Nancy Chu of Kocham Polske Hong Kong, and this is a new series of a program which is Polish academics in Hong Kong. And today we are very happy to have our special guest, Dr. Tomasz Cecot, who is a senior lecturer of University of Hong Kong Faculty of Medicine. So welcome, Tomasz.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay,
that's great.
Really lovely to have you.
Thank you very much.
And because I know you are from Gdańsk, and this is a place that has a heart. It is really a place that has a place in my heart because Gdańsk is the first city in Poland that I visited.
Oh, that's great.
So it's really special to have you from Gdańsk to be on our program.
Thank you very much for that.
So tell us a little bit about you. Are you born in Gdańsk or?
No, actually, apparently I'm not born in Gdańsk, but I really love Gdańsk as you do. So I was born in the city which is called Bytów.
Okay, for those of you who are not sure of like me, where Beetroot is. So this is Gdańsk in Poland. So show us, Tomasz, where is Beetroot?
So if there's a Poland, this is the northern part of Poland. And this is Gdańsk, near the Baltic Sea, at the Baltic Sea coast. And we have to go 100 kilometers west. And in here, we can find a very small city, Bytów. It's actually not a city, actually it's a town. About 18,000 of people.
Right.
So apparently people in Poland, even people in Poland don't know where Bytów is because it's not a very famous city.
Okay.
The only thing which people I recognize from Bytów is actually the castle. And right now we can see the castle on the street. This is the medieval castle from the 15th century, Teutonic Order castle in Bytów.
Oh, so I know that is the marble castle. So that will be built around the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly at the same time. And this is one of the series of castles the Teutonic Order knights built around the northern part of current Poland.
I see. And so that is the castle. And who are these people in the picture?
So actually, I just wanted to start with my parents, of course. And in here, this is a picture taken a few years ago. This is with my parents and with my family. This apparently it's not about my family or extended family because this is not as big as that. But I apparently do have a big family.
Oh, okay.
And this is one of the family photos.
Yes.
It's with my sister and the children. My sister, she got 5 children.
5 children.
Which means that actually it's a quite big family.
And she's still in Gdańsk?
No, she's actually living in Bytów. She's living in Bytów, which means that I used to live in Bytów up to 18 years old.
Okay, so you went to school first in Bytów?
Yeah, which means that apparently this is also about my family. Actually, we are not always so.
People.
Yeah, the very in other situation. Yeah, in other situation. Actually, we're just making some fun.
What are these?
So this is the 18th birthday of my niece.
I say.
Which means that actually we're just doing a different fun stuff.
And I can't really see which one are you, but are you there? In the middle, at the back.
I'm taking the pictures because the pictures were watching today, the pictures on the screen, actually majority means all except one are made by myself.
I see. Okay.
So, and this is actually the photo of the typical school in Poland.
Okay.
And this is my primary school.
Primary school.
Yeah. Right. Primary school in Bytów. I was still there just learning in this building. And this is another school, also very, very typical school in Poland. It's my secondary school.
Okay, is that stadium or?
No. It's just a secondary school. And what is interesting about this school, in the 1966, actually it was 1,000 years of Poland.
Wow,
1,000 years of Poland. And during that time, in the 1966, it was the program to build up 1,000 schools because of 1,000 years of Poland.
I see. So by 1966, it was the plan of Poland to have 1,000 schools.
Yeah.
And that was the school built because of that.
Because of that. And this is one of the schools. And what is quite funny, actually, there is a many of schools which looks exactly like this one.
Ah,
all
it's the same model.
amount. This is exactly the same model.
And it's a co-education boys and girls school, I suppose.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. This is the public school. We haven't had at the time when I was younger. We haven't had probably a private schools. It's not the concept of a private school. Actually, it's not very familiar, especially if you are living in a small town, as I did.
Okay, and then after Beetroot, where is this?
Something happened after that. When I was 18, actually, I just left Bytów. So far, forever, for now. And I went to Gdańsk.
Yes.
Gdańsk, and this is the story of Gdańsk. And I fall in love with this city, with this beautiful city. The actual picture in here is the University of Gdańsk.
University of Gdańsk.
Yeah, this is one of the buildings in here. And
this is very modern.
It's a pretty modern thing, and the pretty modern campus. And this is the building of biology or biological sciences.
I see. And this is what your major is.
Yeah, it is.
From the beginning.
And I started studying biology as my major.
Yes.
But at that time in Poland, we haven't had undergraduate and postgraduate studies.
Right.
We only had one master's. And it was for 5 years.
All together?
Okay,
from year 1 to year 5, and then you get a master.
Yeah, of course. And what it means? It means that if you are 18 years old, you have to decide what you are going to do for the future. And it's a big decision, actually.
Do you find it very difficult at that time to decide you want to go for biology?
Actually, not. It was pretty easy for me.
Why?
I have to say.
Do you always like biology, or?
Yeah. It was always it was my thing. I always to learn something about life,
what
life is, because biology is the science of life.
Okay.
And actually studying at the University of Gdańsk, I was very, very lucky because the program we had there was excellent. And I think I can say that once again that I really, really like that program. It was excellent choice, and I will do that again.
Okay, so 5 years passed, and then you got your master in biological science?
I get my master in biological sciences, and after that, I decided to do something more, which means that after masters, I decided to do a PhD.
Still in Gdańsk?
Still in Gdańsk, yeah. And the PhD was in neuroscience.
This is neuroscience.
The neuroscience.
So it's all in the brain, in the heart.
Everything is about the brain. The neuroscience is about the brain. And it's probably one of the most complicated subjects.
I can imagine, of course. The brain governs a lot of things.
Yeah, it means, and I just wanted to know not only what the life is, but actually how it works.
How it works, right?
And therefore, I had chosen this neurophysiology as the major subject of
neurophysiology.
Neurophysiology as the major subject. And this actual picture, this photo is when I was without a beard, and this is my defense, my PhD defense, because we do have a tradition in Poland that there is a public defense.
Public defense.
Yeah, which means that actually each and every person out of the street can come and can ask you a question.
Right.
And you have to be prepared to answer this question in front of your professors. So what is also interesting, during the PhD defense, this public defense, you also can invite your parents, for example.
Okay. Do you invite your parents?
Of course.
Of course, yes or no?
Of course, I did.
Yes. Okay.
Of course, yes.
So,
of course, I did.
They must be very proud of you.
Yeah. It is.
Okay. So just tell me, how long does it take? You said 5 years you got the master, and how long did it take further to get your PhD?
So the PhD in Poland is slightly different than PhD here in Hong Kong. It means in Hong Kong is a lot of structure. You've got 4 or 5 years, and you have to your PhD here in Hong Kong. Whereas in Poland, it's slightly different.
In what way?
In that way that actually there is no such a structure that you have to finish in 4 years. Especially at that time, you have to be ready for this defense. And it took me 8 years, actually, just to do my PhD.
So it's whenever you feel ready. So that isn't really like you have to have everything ready in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
It is a matter of preparation to the extent that your subject supervisor, professor feels that you already acquired the knowledge and the expertise in the subject.
But even is slightly different. The feeling of the PhD in Poland is probably slightly different because this is even something much more philosophical. It means that one part of my exams, they were additional exams from from other subjects. I have also to pass the exams not only from physiology or neurophysiology, but also from different subjects. And I would just ask you the question: what do you think? Which subject was my second subject to pass during my PhD? What do you think? What it could be for biology person?
It can be anything.
It could be anything. It could be any subject you can choose.
That's a trick question, but knowing enough Polish people, I know it will not be so straightforward to say chemistry. I know it's the wrong answer. It will be something very different.
Definitely.
In our sense, and something like music.
No, actually not music, but you are very, very close. It was art. It was history of art.
History of art.
Yeah, it was the history of art as the second subject, which means that you also have to pass the exams in something what is not your specialty, but you have to prove that you are mature enough to be a PhD.
Is this a choice, or it is like the way that for all the PhDs in Poland, you need to have another subject? Or?
So actually, I think this is the need. And definitely it used to be a need. I don't know exactly how it is right now.
Yes.
Because it was almost 12 years ago.
It's a very full training of your brain.
Yeah.
Because being a scientist, apparently you use this part, the left, to think. And as an artistic person, history of art, it will be the other part.
Yeah.
So you are fully utilizing your brain and all the neurons, whatever are inside.
Yeah, and you have to do that. And I think I really like this one here about our PhD and something what did happen.
Yes.
And even if it took 8 years, which is longer than you are expecting from a degree, I think it was really good.
So it is actually 5 years to the master and then 8 more years.
8 more years.
But during that time, is this full time or you are doing other things?
I was doing other things, and you actually won't be surprised what I was doing, because I said that it was the history of art.
Okay, you got married?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is what is happening in here. I was very young at that time, and I was a full-time tour guide.
Tour guide?
Yeah, I was guiding people. A tour guide. I was showing people the beauty of the city of Gdańsk.
How lovely. While at the same time you were studying your PhD.
But you know, it was about this balance, and I had the time actually just to do the other job during the summertime.
Oh, that's so nice. So who is this lady in the picture?
So this is Anya. She's a very, very good friend of mine.
Yes.
She was here in Hong Kong last year anyway.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, she was here.
She old town in Gdańsk. I can see this might be the Amber Museum at the back.
Yeah, it is. It is exactly Amber Museum. We are just at the back of the Golden Gate, and we were planning to do a series of the videos on YouTube, just inviting people to Gdańsk, just to show people how beautiful city Gdańsk is. And this is one shot. Yeah, and this is one shot out of this video when we are actually just inviting people.
And you did make the videos, you did?
Yeah, but only one. Only one.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
and I
we
really
need to ask for the link later.
I will provide the link, and you can do that, because Gdańsk actually is a beautiful city too.
It is, yes, but there's so many places that I haven't been to, like this one. I'm not sure which church it is.
So this is the only church which preserved the Second World War in Gdańsk. It wasn't burned. And this in the main city of Gdańsk, in the main town. This is St. Nicholas Church. St. Nicholas Church.
I haven't been there. It's beautiful. So it's preserved as the original.
Yeah, this is exactly the original Baroque interior, but the church is from the medieval time. You can see the Gothic arcades in here, which means that this is actually one of the pictures when I'm showing people one group of tourists.
Because I'm sure that for Hong Kong people, if we haven't visited Gdańsk, we would love to have somebody like Tomasz to take us through this beautiful city. So where would you recommend Hong Kong people to visit?
So I would recommend all people, not only to tourists, but also I'm showing this one here to my closest friends. This is Andrea and Jennifer, and this is one picture here in Gdańsk. I was showing them.
At the train station.
At the train station,
very important. And then,
important. And I just showing them actually the main town of Gdańsk. The Gdańsk is pretty unique than other cities in Poland, because it's got the old town is one part of the city, but it also got something unique, which is the main town.
Yes.
And the main touristic place is actually called the main town, but we also do have this old town.
Okay, I know you will go continuously because you are a tour guide and you love Gdańsk, and I love Gdańsk. But let's move on because we need to tell people more about your life in Hong Kong. So these are all the places in Gdańsk, which is beautiful, the town hall.
And I just
you took the picture.
I took the pictures. I just have to say that it could be. Gdańsk is beautiful during the summertime and also the wintertime, as you can tell. And this is the coat of arms of Gdańsk, the two crosses and the crown above that, the symbol of Gdańsk. If you would like to go to Gdańsk, if it will be possible to go to Gdańsk, please go there, because you may fall in love, like Nancy did.
Yes, I did. I certainly did. Okay, now Gdańsk, this is your hometown, and then you got your PhD, and what next?
So actually, I had to decide what to do in Gdańsk. I love Gdańsk. I showed the beauty of Gdańsk to other people, but I had to decide I have to move on.
Yes.
And I decided to go to the UK.
To the UK, to Southampton.
Yeah, there is a University of Southampton, pretty good university, and I applied for a job there as at the position of the anatomy teacher, which means that I slightly change my focus from the neuroscience
to the anatomy. Wow.
Anatomy is about the structure of the human body.
Yes.
Which parts of the body we have and how to call these different parts. And I decided that probably this will be a good pathway, good move to go there. And I went to Southampton. As you can see, the pretty nice academic
academic look. Yes.
Very academic look. And I learned a lot in Southampton, and I learned, most of all, I think I learned something like the new culture.
The new culture. What is
new
that?
Culture. What is this one here? I would like just to share one thought with you, because the culture in Poland, or the way how we perceive our world, is rather vertical. I would say vertical, which means that we do have this hierarchy. Which means that there is
like that.
This is in Poland. Okay. I think it's a very vertical. Which means that if there is your boss, there is your family, there is your mom and dad. Everything is so vertical.
In a way, it's quite Chinese as well, actually.
Of course.
And so that's why we click.
Yeah, I think it is.
And what's the new culture?
And the new culture in the UK is slightly different, because the culture in the UK is horizontal for me. Because even if someone is a professor, actually is a friend of you.
Yes.
Is there someone
on the same ground?
On the same ground, which means that actually, and this is important information, that when I went to the UK, I had to learn new way of looking at people.
Yes.
Instead of looking from our Polish perspective,
they're actually same or around and front and back.
Yeah, which means that I changed this vertical approach into this horizontal approach.
Yes.
And this is important because you already mentioned this one here, because Hong Kong is actually a mix of both.
Hong Kong is a mix of both, of course. We are like that. We are also like that. So we are like a circle.
Maybe like a circle. But what I'm trying to say is that what was discovered in Hong Kong, and what is maybe this will be a surprise, but actually moving from Poland to Southampton was a bigger challenge for me than moving from Southampton to Hong Kong.
Okay. But one thing I have to say, it is in common that Southampton is also a seaport, as in this picture, like Gdańsk. So it seems that you're quite fond of choosing places near the sea. Like in Hong Kong, we have the Victoria Harbour. Is that the reason?
I have no idea, but I think it's just a coincidence. Maybe a coincidence.
The consciousness, your neuro kind of pushed you to that direction.
Yeah, probably. And in Southampton, I had a pretty nice life. This is the picture of the
trees and plants, the sky, and blue sky.
Of course, and this is the picture of a garden, actually, of my garden.
Your garden.
Yeah, my garden in Southampton. Nice. And also what was interesting during that time. This is the Polish school. The Polish school
in the UK.
The Polish school in the UK, and this is one of the biggest Polish school in the UK. We had here about 450 children.
Wow!
And we were running with my friends. We were running this school.
So it's so nice that in Southampton you actually find the connections back with Poland, with the children.
And what is interesting, actually, we opened, in that school, we opened the A levels, which means that we also organize something what is very common in Poland, which is called studniówka. 100 days before the A levels,
Yes.
the students will have a proms, something like a ball that they can
the
dance.
proms
The
before
proms.
A levels, 100 days.
Yes,
It's
100.
Not graduation.
No. It's just before 100 day, and therefore it's called studniówka. 100, it means 100.
It's very Polish, right?
It's a very Polish way, and
I
as you
love
can
that.
see, students are here quite ready
We
for
should
that.
talk to the schools in Hong Kong about this one. This is a good way to relax.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
so
good.
These are your students
And these are my students, and we're going back. I was also showing my students Gdańsk, and this actually is once again, this is the building of the University of Gdańsk with my colleagues. I bring the students back to Poland.
Okay, now we come to Hong Kong. So you had a good life in UK, and then why Hong Kong? Why do you decide to leave UK and come to this part of the world?
Yeah, actually, it was quite interesting because in 2015 I went for the conference to Beijing, and I discovered that I really like Chinese culture.
And that was the first time
you
visited this part of the world.
Yeah, it was the very first time. I actually fall in love with the culture of China, and the next holiday, I decided to go also to China, to go to Beijing and to Shanghai. And after that visit, I said to myself, this is the time to go to different part of the world.
To move out of Europe and then to come to Asia. And somehow you found Hong Kong, or Hong Kong found you.
Yeah. Actually, Hong Kong found me, to be very honest. And I just applied for a job and I just get a job.
Yes.
And I came here in March 2018.
2018, okay. So it is almost 3 years, or already 3 years, celebrating your 3rd anniversary.
Yeah. Here.
So what do you do here?
So actually, right now, I'm teaching at the School of Biomedical Sciences. This is the Faculty of Medicine, the University of Hong Kong. I do have a lovely time in here with my students. I also have a really good time with my friends. This is actually one of the conferences. In current time, it's the teleconference.
Wow.
And this is the quite fresh photo which was made 2 days ago.
2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 days ago. All of our students.
Everybody's wearing masks.
Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. We're in the sanitary regime in here.
Okay. And actually, are you back to, it is anatomy, I saw the thing. So it's not neuroscience.
No.
You're specializing, what subjects do you teach?
So I'm teaching here anatomy. I'm teaching still anatomy, and this is quite nice place to teach. We do have a lot of great opportunities, and this is one of the examples we are having this VR system in our lab.
Okay.
And these are just the pictures to show you how lovely people are here in Hong Kong. And my contract, actually, my first contract ended 2 years ago, 1 year ago, actually.
Oh, you ended?
The first contract ended 2 years ago because it was only 2 years contract, but the university extended the contract.
Good.
And I will just stay here for longer. Because I think it's pretty nice place.
So do you teach both undergraduate and postgraduate, or?
Yeah. Right now there is a majority of my students. They are the undergraduate students, but they're also the postgraduates.
Okay, so that will be very busy life you have. But apparently you have prepared some very beautiful photos of Hong Kong. So tell us a bit more of how you spend your leisure time in Hong Kong.
So this is good and bad because of the pandemic right now, and because of the pandemic we can't go outside Hong Kong quite easily, which means that this is the good chance and opportunity to explore Hong Kong. And I have been in many places here in Hong Kong. I usually during weekend I'm hiking at different places, different things, and I'm just trying to find some unusual places in here.
If we can go, the pictures, I can see that apart from the city, skyscrapers, like this photo, I have no idea where it is.
So actually, this is one of the Buddhist temples. Don't ask me for the exact name because I don't remember that. But they're beautiful.
Yeah, they're beautiful. And usually it's the way you took pictures. It also shows another perspective. Like this one must be from Aberdeen.
Yeah, I think this is the, this is the
I live nearby, but this is a new perspective, looking from the people, how they took the photos.
And this is probably, I believe this is from Hopewell Center, one of the images.
Food.
Of
So
course.
why choose this
Of
hotel?
course, Hong Kong is all about food. I shouldn't mention this one here, but actually it's all about food. I was actually expecting to be slimmer, you know, on this healthy food here.
But you went
here.
hiking, you do exercise, so
But it doesn't help.
Okay, let's not stick to that part.
Okay, but anyway, what I would like to say, of course, the food culture here in Hong Kong is excellent.
Yeah.
And what I really like to do is staycation. And as you can tell, it's in different places. But it's not only about this luxurious life, but it's also about the normal everyday life and just to have a fun or
slow down
on
the
with something.
Old tram.
Of course, this
very
is
romantic.
This is very, very, very nice. Once again, food. I always have to go back to food, and after that, I have to hike a lot.
Okay, food and hike.
Of course,
hike and food again.
Of course, as you can tell, food and hike, which means that this is actually my leisure time.
The balance you need.
And this is the balance I need.
With work.
With work, and actually, I have to say that work is also my passion.
And it's very important to have passion in work. Yes.
And I'm really very happy to work with all of these people here. But in our current situation, we're doing a lot of online stuff, and we're just making a lot of the recordings, and this is just an example of that.
Okay, this is certainly not work.
Absolutely not.
What is this?
So we are Polish people here, and we also have some Polish friends from our community living in here, and we are just trying to keep the Polish traditions. Yes. And this is one of the Polish tradition. This is last Christmas, and we had the traditional Christmas supper, which is a day before Christmas, and it's called Wigilia. And something what is very important for us Poles is just to share this white piece of bread, I would say, which is called opłatek.
Right, this is a difficult word, but this is very important tradition.
Yeah, this is important tradition, and we are sharing this opłatek, and we are saying our best wishes to all of our friends and the closest
family. Very nice and very festive.
Of course, it is.
So what is it you're having? Beetroot soup?
Yeah, this is the beetroot soup, another Polish tradition, beetroot soup with pierogi, which are some type of dumplings. And of course, everything is homemade. Which is good. And of course, because we are Polish people, we also can still contribute to development of our country. And if there is opportunity, of course, we are going.
And this is where you go to vote. Yes.
Yeah, of course. This is
the Poland Consulate General.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have friends, what are your impressions of Hong Kong overall?
So once I've been invited to go back to Poland, and being in Gdańsk, actually, I was invited to give a talk about Hong Kong and my impression about Hong Kong. Yeah, in Gdańsk. So it was I think it was about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And this is just a poster from that event. Okay. And I entitled this meeting as Hong Kong, a city of contrasts.
A city of contrasts.
Yeah, because I think this is a really good. There is the contrast on each and every way, which means that this is a west and east.
West and east. Yes.
This is the contrast. This is a huge contrast, and I already mentioned this vertical and the horizontal way of thinking. Okay. There is a rich and poor. There is a very tall and very very low. Okay. Everything is in here in Hong Kong.
The rural and the city.
Rural and the city. And you can see everything. You can discover that. And this is beautiful about city.
And this is the theme that you chose to use, the contrast, all right?
Of the city. And nature and the urban landscape. You can always see that things in here.
And are these photos that you possibly use in your presentation, or the way you would like your Polish friends, if they visit Hong Kong, you would like
I would like to recommend people actually just to hike and go to the different places, not only to the terrace bars just to have a drink, but actually to go to discover some hidden gems here in Hong Kong. And I think it's really, really good just to go and to look at the culture.
Temple.
This is one of the Chinese temples, and it doesn't look like this temple in here. This is a church in my hometown, Bytów, and because it's like different,
this is the contrast that you mentioned. Yes,
this is the contrast.
New learnings. Okay, thank you for putting that photo. You would definitely recommend your friends to visit us.
Of course, and I would recommend Kocham Polske and I would recommend just a different walks organized by Kocham Polske.
Thank you so much.
I learned a lot during that time. I had the pleasure just to meet you here.
Our first meeting.
And this is the photo from our very first meeting.
We welcome more Polish friends
to
visit us.
Please, because it's really good to have people.
Okay. So I think we are rounding up our chat, and you have prepared the very special photos of Hong Kong you have taken. And so take us through.
Yeah, just to finish everything what is in here. I think I found a place here in Hong Kong. This is a beautiful place, beautiful city, but it's also about people who are all around. And I'm very impressed by energy of this place, and I'm very impressed by you actually by organizing all of this stuff. This is a great thing. And great opportunity. And if I can actually just share my love to Hong Kong by using my camera, I just would like to show you some of the pictures I think will show the beauty of the place.
You can feel the photo. And I don't know whether it's an accidental photo, you just catch the light, or you have to wait, or you have the intuition of, oh, this is lovely. For some reason, it reminded me of Gdańsk.
Yeah,
because of the shipyard.
Maybe.
And it's really beautiful.
Because Hong Kong is beautiful.
Thank you so much, Tomasz. So I think it is a very nice chat, and you have shared with us and the audience. And I hope that with this program, we have got to know Tomasz a bit more. And then it's really lovely to have really beautiful Polish people here. And every time I speak to a friend like this, I discover more about that person and also about Polish people and about Poland. And I think that is why, for me, I fall in love with Poland is because of its people. And I certainly hope that you will stay in Hong Kong longer to feel more love here. And thank you very much, Tomasz. And remember, we'll share the link of your YouTube video.
I will.
And I hope to be able to visit Gdańsk with you. And you can show us around beautiful Gdańsk and beautiful Poland.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.